War State by Michael Swanson explains the great national transformation that took place and put the Kennedy presidency in the context of the times and reveals never-before published information about the Cuban Missile Crisis. President Kennedy would not have been assassinated if he had been president 200 years ago. His assassination took place in the context of the Cold War and the rise of the national security state. Before World War II, the United States was a continental republic. In the decade that followed, it became an imperial superpower. Generals such as Curtis LeMay not only wanted to invade Cuba, but knew that there were short-range missiles on the island armed with nuclear warheads that they could not destroy because they were on mobile launchers. Their invasion could have led to a third world war, and they wanted to go to war anyway. The War State by Michael Swanson reveals why and will show you what President Kennedy was up against. For more information, thewarstate.com.
Revelation through conversation.
Revelation through conversation.
Shelly.com radio network.
Revelation.
Warning. This is a Emergency broadcast. Code red. Code red. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the broadcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit eardrums. Uncle the broadcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back again. This is the Friday night. Well, we have interesting news. You probably already heard it from the sidekick here.
Really?
Yes, they probably heard it from your sidekick on your side of your show.
Really? I talked about the right thing for one time?
Yeah.
So I brought up the right topic, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
so you all probably know.
You already know. So we don't even have to say it then, Uncle.
No,
is that
no.
the truth? We don't even have to bring it up here?
365 episode tonight.
Ooh, we did a full circle.
Circle.
Wait.
It is, because 64 was last week.
360 is a circle, then 365 is the days of the year. There's the add 5 for the holy days, I think, is the idea behind that.
Yeah.
So there we go. So this is a good one.
He's getting smart. Hey, sidekick here is getting pretty smart. What the heck's happened there? He's starting to learn something.
Well, I can pretend to be smart for the podcast at least, Uncle. I've got that going for me.
Yeah,
Uncle, this is exciting. We talked about so many interesting things in the previous hour to do with this show. Actually, we're talking about your TikTak.
I heard that.
That was exciting.
That's my account now.
I know.
That's my account.
Well,
Yeah.
Chuck did a great job explaining, or just kind of like making the point that should be obvious, but sometimes can be forgotten, that it truly is your account.
What is the question he was up against?
Well, his suggestion was that you should be truly unleashed on TikTok to make content as you see fit, to make really your own stuff. In addition,
I am with my food and other things, but I'm trying to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly what he's saying. But I'm trying to figure out what to say. And other than the food, I'd like to get more into it with things that I have to think about what to say.
Yeah.
That's my point.
So the way we've been doing it, it's been working really good, is either me or my wife or my son will like kind of prompt you like, oh, why don't we do a video like this real quick? And then you usually say yes, and then we just record it.
Well, they are no. What they are to me.
Okay, how's it
I'm
work?
going to explain.
Please do.
They are my headers.
Your
All three of you.
social media team.
Momentary team, and to know what to say, because, shoot, I don't even know. My own account, and I don't even know what to say.
Okay.
So I go to him, I go to the little man to tell him, what do we say? He knows right there.
He's pretty good at it.
He's excellent right there.
And he has
He knows it.
the thing that's good about him is he has his fingers on the pulse of the youth because he is one.
Yes, that's what I like about it.
He knows what they want.
And you two are following him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he owns these kind of things. Look, he plays with his machines.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that is really missing for him,
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, what's really missing? The brain.
Yeah, well,
I know he wants one, and I know
he wants his own cell phone, but his mother and myself will not allow him to have
Not
one
yet.
Later
Later in time, yes, but not
he
now.
doesn't need that. He has other stuff. He plays his games, so he plays some video games. That's a lot right there.
Well, that's a lot in itself.
That's-
Never mind.
perhaps-
I try to get him to do something, and I say, shut that thing off.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
It could be
this
too much.
garage sale. There, for example, this garage sale. We needed help for him to know what to say to the people.
Yeah.
And Nana, of course, she didn't even know what to say to the toys.
Yes. He had to be the salesman for the toy table.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah,
The
that's
Toys channel.
Yeah,
The
well,
Toys-
I mean, so we have a good social media team. We got a good family situation. We're doing cool stuff. I'm excited. The Uncle TikTak is growing. Uncle, let's remind people they can call in.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So we do still have the same call-in number for now. So use it, 319-527-5016. We want you to call in. I'm realizing right now, Uncle, I forgot to post an Instagram post today. I usually always do it, but I was doing so many other things. I forgot.
What is about I was going to say, can you post some...
Oh, actually, let me see my phone. Uncle, I'm going to do it live right now. I'm going to do it live.
Right next to me.
I'm going to do this
My brain
live.
is right next to me.
Hand me my brain, please, Uncle. Here's my brain.
You can handle... what I'm going to do for my show... I'm putting some TikTaks, pieces that I made into my show.
Okay, cool.
What are you doing?
Never mind me. I'm making social media posts as we do the show. Isn't this exciting, Uncle? Here, okay, so
doing
here's that clip. We are live now.
Send it into some of those that I made already. Into that. Well,
Okay. Wait, what are you speaking of exactly now? Some of the TikToks that we've made already?
A few that I made. That you said you want to put a few on.
Yes. Yeah. What I'm doing.
The one I would like you to put on is put on the last one I did.
Oh, okay.
Star Wars, man.
So
I would like that one.
The most recent TikTok that we did earlier today, it's an item that we're selling at our garage sale. Yeah. I actually saw this. So this is an example of me looking at something and giving you the idea, like, here, let's run with this. What I did was I saw the rack of clothing that we had for our yard sale and noticed that one of your old pairs of pajamas was hanging there. The old pair of pajamas is a Chewbacca costume, essentially. It's Chewbacca pajamas that makes you look like Chewbacca.
Actually, I could use them for Halloween too.
Yeah,
I mean, you could go either way.
It could be a Halloween costume, yeah.
Halloween costume, so.
But they were hanging there. I'm like, Uncle, before we sell these, let's use them because, like you said, it's a costume.
Right.
So wardrobe department, it was sitting right
That's
there.
exactly what it was. A wardrobe department.
Yeah.
That's the word I was trying to find.
So it's like, Uncle, put this thing on and let's just I don't know, let's talk about how it's for sale at the yard sale, I guess. That was our angle. And so we did.
What we got out of it, tell you what we got out of it. We might have a sale for tomorrow because they had, how many on it already?
It was up to nearly 200 views when I last looked. It's hopefully above that now. I'm hoping.
200, that's in that was before.
Yeah, I hope it's above that.
Who's this? Oh,
I'm curious. I know I got to ask you something because I'm thinking, some people might not know these things exist, but there was this niche thing that went on for a little while where you could get like a full one-piece pajama thing that you could zip into, and like now you're Cookie Monster. Are you saying he had one like that with Chewbacca?
the whole suit.
Yeah, I think that's what you'd call it.
That's what you call it, but it's a whole suit, not a half deal. Yeah. What you're saying.
No, but I am talking about a whole suit. It's
Yeah, It was a whole suit, but all I did was zip it up.
Okay,
And then put my tongue thing over the head.
Let me describe this for people. We're talking about a set of like footy pajamas that actually even cover your feet, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a hood that goes over the top, and it's zip. You put it on one piece, zip it up, and now you're that character.
Correct.
I've seen this for Oscar the Grouch and Cookie Monster, and a few other different characters. And this and that. I think there's a Pikachu.
Sounds right, yeah.
But I had no idea that Chewbacca existed. Now that's new.
Yeah.
It's a great costume, Chuck, and I was like, we got to use this. And it made for good content. I think it's a funny video. We played the Cantina Figrin Dan song in the background. I think that worked quite well for it.
Is that the song you put?
I
don't know. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, that
That's
one.
playing in the background.
Oh, that.
And I think it's funny. And not only is it you just wearing the Chewbacca costume, but it's also like a silly advertisement like, well, if you came to our yard sale, you could buy this and you could be the next Chewbacca.
Yeah, that's what it said. Yeah, so I think, but there was somebody commented.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was somebody commenting about it.
What'd they say?
About that. You were saying
Is a comment on this video?
on this video.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
You didn't see it? You
I
the one
don't-
that told me about it. You didn't see it yet.
I don't think I did. I saw
I
that
mean, you're the one that told me about it. That is one.
I knew that we
one's
gained a follower.
already- One follower was following it, and so that to me tells me there's a buyer.
Right track.
Right there's
We're
a buyer.
getting
Right
those
there.
customers.
Boom.
They're coming in. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I mean, that's what I see, and I say.
I think if we keep making those videos, it's a recipe for success. I don't see how we could go wrong making stuff like that. But in addition, if you want to do short pieces where maybe you get to a point where you're able to make a video on your own, even maybe we'll get to that point.
That
We'll have to figure out how that works, but I think
I'd like
maybe.
to do, like you said, short video.
Okay.
Short videos seems to bring them people in.
It does.
I'm starting to see you don't do long videos. You do a long video, you won't have a customer. That's the bottom line.
That's true.
But if you do a short one, woo, here they come.
Yeah, no, we talked about that on Aaron's show. I said Uncle needs to start belting out things that are about 1 minute long. And that's what I said. Hey, a couple of straight facts, and then I'll cut my mic off real fast. First of all, we only have one listener outside of the country tonight in Germany.
Ooh.
So it's our German customer.
Well, at least there's one. Better than none.
States tonight on the Ocelli stream. So I don't know what's going on there, but other countries, I don't know. Not tonight.
No. Maybe.
Here's a bonus question for you. You're bringing up the Cantina Band, and I think it's hilarious, this particular fact. Do you know what the form of music is called that they are playing? They are Figuring Beyond and the Modo Nodes, okay? Something like that.
Oh.
Anyway, I had to double check this because I heard it on a YouTube video the other day, and I said, that can't be possible.
Yeah.
But it is.
There you go.
What they call the form of music. And I wonder if either one of you knows. There's two different ways to pose it, but either way it contains a very strange word. So, what did the Cantina Band play in Star Wars?
Yeah, it's got to be some play on Galaxy something. or other.
Something on the Galaxy.
It's got to be something like that. But yeah,
So you know what I'm saying? Like you might be okay. Is it rock? Is it pop? What is it?
maybe it's some form of jazz.
Yes.
That
It's a jazz.
Much like Steely Dan, Figrin' Dan
right.
is kind of jazzy.
It's a jazzy thing. It's not any other bubs what you was mentioning.
But it also
Chuck.
has some rock
that.
sensibilities in there.
Not very much.
It's got some interesting melodies going on in there. But
I know.
I'm going to call it galactic jazz fusion live music.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Okay, you guys are so close, and you're not even comment on why this is funny, but it is funny. They are big aliens, okay, who play a genre of music known as one of two things: either jizz,
Who?
jizz, or jizz wailing. So it's closely related to jazz. They just changed
Jews?
and they call it jizz, Jizz.
Oh, Jews.
See? They are like Steely Dan. I told you.
Yeah.
Playing jizz.
I told you it was. I thought it was that music we mentioned that you said that we said it was. It wasn't rock and it wasn't pop. It was.
It's its own
jazz.
Thing. It's its own thing.
It's a jazz song.
You're
but
going,
we were on the right track.
You're only gonna find that kind of thing on Tatooine at the yeah.
Close. Anyway, and by the way, the main song that they played over and over in the original movie was called "Mad About Me."
Mad About Me.
About Me.
Oh, I didn't know that was the title. Yeah, I love that song. It's a great song.
I didn't hear.
How can you not like that song? That song, it's a toss-up for me between is that song better or is the song that the Ewoks sing at the end of Return of the Jedi better?
Jedi.
Also a great little number that those folks
like
put
those
together.
little guys. They bouncing around, jumping around. And
You know that song, right, Uncle?
But there's a whole contingent.
I have to get it in my head.
I could sing it if I have to.
There's a contingent of people that are angry because in the new version of Return of the Jedi, they got rid of the song that everybody called Yum Nub.
Yeah, Yum Nub. Yeah. Well, count me in that group, Chuck, because I'm
That's
mad
the
they
one.
took it out. That was the end of the movie. We get to rock and roll to Yum Nub. What? We don't get to do that anymore? What even is this movie?
It's gone. Now there's a celebration that goes across the whole, the whole thing where they show you play that existed until the prequels were made. But I was a little sad about it too because I'm a guy who actually, independently sat in the movie theater and watched that as a kid.
Yeah.
I went to the Beach Cinema in Bradley Beach and, went there, discount movie. I was there like a bunch of times. I must have seen Return of the Jedi 6 times in that movie theater just because I needed a place to be. And quite frankly, that was part of the movie that they took out and they put in this big, CGI crazy thing where even Jar Jar Binks is now at the end of Return of the Jedi, right?
That's
His people.
right. That's right. Yeah, it's a big mess. There's all sorts of weird legal stuff for reasons they did that.
Oh, it's
too.
ever since the man passed. They're doing whatever they want to put
Uncle,
in.
before we
That's
get
what
too
it
far,
is.
before we get too far into the podcast weeds here, I don't want to forget to do our drink review. So let's start that now.
Now you got to put that in this point.
I will. There's a whole presentation
We
have to do
got
here,
something
too.
new for this drinking.
We do.
We have a thing new.
Why don't you
thinking
show
here.
off the new vessel itself, Uncle, before we even poured the beer into it?
Here
Show them.
Somebody on the phone?
I think there's a phone call.
I thought I heard something.
But anyway, here.
But here's the
That's the phone call noise, yeah.
here's this new thing.
There's the new vessel.
The vessel
formed
we're going to use for a pouring. We're going to pour
beer.
the beer can into it, and then we take it from there.
And there's a whole story behind this vessel itself, which we will
Yeah.
get into as the show goes on. If
Yeah.
anybody's curious, we will tell you all about it. It's a fascinating
how
story.
we turn this way.
It's a truly magical process that brought this unique thing to us. But before we do that, let's should we take this call before we pour
let's
the
see
beer?
who is this caller first. Let's see
Let's
who's
go to
on
call.
here first.
Yeah.
On the air with the Uncle Show. Who's this?
Hey there, Uncle. It's Jimmy James.
And hey, Jimmy, I knew you'd be the first one today. Been everybody quiet.
There we go. Knew it. How you doing, Jimmy?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I got a giant iceberg still in my lawn.
Iceberg? You mean it's snowing there?
Oh, yeah, it snows all the time, but it's mostly gone away now, but
I didn't know.
I'm one of the few people in town lucky enough to have this giant iceberg.
Oh, that's kind of cool. You're making the most of it? You melting it down for interesting purposes or doing anything cool with it, Jimmy?
Well, it's holding up lawn work as well as...
Could you do us a favor?
Pick up pickaxe to the...
Could you do us a favor and put it on the show?
Ooh, we want pictures. Is that
Let
it,
them
Uncle?
show the pictures of it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, before it goes down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, snow in April. No problem.
Okay.
All right.
They work on
Well, if
Yeah,
you,
I got lots of it.
that. Okay.
that's that's late. I mean, March is normal, but April's getting late for the snow. So yeah, that's odd goings on for sure. No matter what state you're in, usually. But I think, Jimmy, if it's okay, we're gonna go about pouring our special drink tonight because it's an extra special one. We have so many stories to get into. I'm just going to get to this. Here is the beer that we're going to taste test, and it looks so unassuming. All it is a Coors Light, right?
Yeah.
And I know what everybody out there is saying, like, boring. Why are you going to even bother reviewing Coors Light? Why don't you tell them the backstory here, Uncle? You want to start on
No,
this?
what it was, my neighbor said there's a light beer on the side of the street.
Not in the street.
In the street.
On the side
Got
of the
it now,
street.
sidekick?
I do. This
Out in the sidewalk part. It's laying one down. Somebody threw it and
on the ground.
on the ground with it closed.
Not on the street.
Not on the street.
On the side of the
On
street.
the side of the
so this
street.
beer did not come from the middle of the street. It
Yeah.
came from the side of the street.
And the guy they just went by threw it.
There was apparently like a 12-pack or something of Coors Light, and there happened to be a full can still left in it, which is this.
Yeah.
And
Actually, there was three, but the two I had to break them down. There was three,
They were
but I
kinda
took.
open a
They
little?
were sort of. No, they were smashed.
they were too smashed.
And so I smashed them. But this one we're drinking tonight is the only one that was a decent.
the only truly surviving can left
So I said, well,
on
we'll
the
use
side
this
of
for
the
now.
road. The side of the road, not
Right,
in the
right.
road. So we're going to drink this beer. We're going to just throw caution to the wind. It's that kind of time where we're just drinking beer from the side of the road. And we wouldn't have it any other way, right, Uncle?
We're not gonna. Are we? We're not gonna test it.
Yeah.
Oh, we are?
I want to drink this. I want to test it 1 to 10.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the Uncle Show. We don't just...
I know. Oh, well.
But it's important that we get this beer that was procured through. This beer was meant for us. It was not, the beer found us, so to speak. I'm going to pour it in this vessel that likewise, similar story.
So another story to
We
talk
didn't
about.
create this by hand. It was created by synchronicity with this perfect pour spout and everything. It looks like a pitcher, right?
It is.
It started out as a normal plastic wine glass. My wife put it down on the fire pit at Landers when we were having a party out there. She just put it down there and forgot it. And then we looked down all of a sudden and we saw this, like, look what happened to the cup. And it just so happened that made this perfect, like, pitcher pouring spout, this perfectly shaped, it's like symmetrical and everything. But the way it melted is it melted like this.
Melted perfectly.
Right?
The only thing missing on it, of course, is the handle.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy.
True. That's true. So we are going to use this. We're
Yeah.
going to use both these things, and if this isn't bring us good luck to drink both of these things together this way, I don't know what will. Uncle.
Yeah,
So we're
let's
just gonna
pop
go.
that open and put it in the thing before you pour it out.
Street beer in Landers Fire special pitcher. Here we go. Let me pour it so you see it. There we go. Look at that. Isn't this exciting? Uncle?
Yeah, at least I can take the can down the stairs with it empty.
Okay, so as you can see, And maybe I'm thinking maybe we should name this vessel, Uncle. What are we going to call this thing? Does it have a special name? This thing that we're using? We could use it from here on out. I'm thinking.
Yeah, we're going to.
This is the Maiden Voyage.
We're gonna make it the pouring beer review.
The pouring beer review.
What is they called?
I don't want to put words in your mouth, Uncle. Just go with it. The pouring beer review
of a.
We want to return to this.
Wait, I gotta think.
Look, okay. Another way we could go about this is, Uncle, you can just as we're sitting here, you could stare at this thing.
I have to put the word in.
You could leer at it as we're drinking, and then when inspiration strikes, you shall know the name of this.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's get the drinking down.
So
when you don't want the drinking down, let's first get this thing out of the way.
Just remember in the back of your mind that you need to come up with a name, and it will come to you.
I know.
As the show. But you want to drink out of this yet another drop glass.
My drop glasses. I drink out of my drop glasses. I don't know about you. I'm not gonna be.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be.
All right.
Well, you can make most of that drink anyway.
I'm gonna drink out of my special.
Yeah,
but we have so many different vessels that we pour from one to the next. I really I think maybe the beer reviews are just going to be a process of, well, what will we pour this thing into next? You know, I'm liking where this is going, Uncle. I really love this. But anyway, this, which has yet to be named, is going to pour into Uncle's drop glass from Atlantis? What is that, Casino? What is this place?
Casino Atlantis.
Okay, Casino Atlantis drop glass. I'm going to pour it in
Big
that.
ones.
Okay, yeah, that's a tall drop glass.
That's why I got it here.
Okay, there you go. I'm going to pour myself my street Coors Light into my Paloma glass from Puerto Vallarta that you gave me as a gift, which I do love. Wonderful gift, and thank you again, Uncle. This thing is cool. My skull glass complete with Paloma instructions. And
that's
everything.
good because
I've got a lot of volume on mine, Uncle. Yours is a little lacking, but that's okay. I can refill it.
No, this is doing the same.
Yeah. You ready to drink it?
I already told him the story. Okay, here we're going to drink now.
Street beer, street Coors Light. Okay, boy, that goes down smooth, doesn't it, Uncle? What do you think? Good first taste?
Now, is it flat? I want to know first thing.
I knew that was going to come out of his mouth.
You knew he was going to say that.
Flattening, because it's been sitting where? Not out in the fridge.
Not in the street.
Not in the street, in the fridge.
In the fridge.
It was in the street. It got tossed somewhere. Did the can get banged up? You know, that screws up. Yeah, come on.
This one that we got, I was sure it wasn't me, but the other two were.
There is actually some carbonation in here, Chuck. However, I will say that the flavor does come off flat to me. I'm seeing bubbles.
It is a flat. It's a flat kind of taste.
So
I can say that.
The live stream viewers can see that there is carbonation in there. However, it tastes minimal. That's for sure.
Of course it is. Come on, be real. It's Coors Light, dude. It's not going to be, wow, what flavor?
Yeah, but Chuck, this is from the streets, so there's,
Yeah, but even on the streets, you wouldn't cook generic hot dogs in that. You know what I'm saying?
Can you imagine though? Can you imagine what them clowns were thinking about when they were throwing these Coors beer out the window?
Yeah, it was probably some kids who were trying to ditch it because they thought the cops were going to pull them over.
In the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't. We have pumps control, but they're hardly out here when in the daytime.
Yeah, but when you get a 17-year-old kid who just got a driver's license, or 18-year-old kid, now he's not of drinking age and he's not supposed to have beer in the car, and let's just say the kids start drinking in the car, they'll turn around and throw those beers out if they think they're going to have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds possible. Yeah, it sounds like something might happen.
Yeah. Be a good explanation for how in the world some beers just ended up on the street. Okay? Just to give you an idea. I'm giving you a theory, Uncle. That's all I'm giving.
We don't know that happened.
Well, actually, I thought it was grown men.
Well, maybe.
It might have been grown men. But,
There could have been a lot of things.
It's just.
Sure. Hey, look, a guy going home, maybe he doesn't want his wife to know that he bought most of that beer and drank it before he got home. And he's like, look, I drank most of this 12-pack. There's 3 left. Screw it. Toss it.
Exactly what. And actually, what happened.
The only thing we know for sure is that we are extremely lucky to have it found us once again so that we can have it here on the podcast and drink it.
I was
rate
saying that because, of course, it went to my collection of cans anyway. I had. So it didn't matter to me. Just
back in the days, I worked for clubs, and they would come up to me with free pitchers of beer. As long as I knew it was beer, I didn't ask what kind it was. I
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, free beer is free beer, and that's great. But Coors Light,
Well, that might not be your favorite. I can understand that.
Nope, not at all.
You're telling me that's what I thought.
I would have preferred it be regular Coors, the banquet beer, which is featured on Bum Wine Bob at the moment. I think as a possible drink of the month or something. I know he's highlighting.
I haven't heard that Bumwine drinking man yet. Yeah. He's been in the dust for me because I haven't heard from him on the program.
He'll be back. We'll get him.
When he is going to come back.
Also on the Netflix series, Cobra Kai, they featured that Coors Banquet is like Johnny's beer of choice every time he gets into a fight, which is really strange because now they've developed into the new. Did you see the new Karate Kid movie's going to come out?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
new Karate Kid.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my kids have actually asked that we go to watch it because I watched the original movie with them on like Netflix or wherever. I'm like, oh, let's watch this one night, and they liked it. So now they kind of want to watch this new one actually.
And they want to see
when is that coming out? Anyone know?
Soon, I think.
Pretty soon, yeah.
But
yeah.
Why don't we go to Jimmy? Jimmy, what's going on over there? What do you think about all this?
What do you think about this, Jimmy?
They should quit remaking things.
Making things.
But the other thing I was going to say is, Chuck, the first movie I ever seen in a movie theater was Return of the Jedi.
It was.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that was he beat you. He beat you. So I kicked.
He beat me.
He beat you.
To what?
What he just said.
To watching a movie?
Watching Star Wars.
Oh. Okay.
He got you there.
Hey, the first time I saw Star Wars was on a drive-in screen. Okay, when it was out, a drive-in movie screen, outside in the air, all that good stuff. It was great.
Well, you couldn't find them in the movie theater yet because they wasn't made in the movie theater yet.
Star Wars movie theaters, same time, and it was in the drive-in theaters. Yeah, in the 70s. Yes, 1977.
That's when it started off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when it started off.
Saying I saw the first one then on a drive-in screen.
Oh.
So, yeah, pretty wild.
Oh.
But Return of the Jedi, cool. I wound up. I had to wait until it came to the theater, but I went and saw it like 6 times there at the Beach Cinema in Bradley Beach, New Jersey. Anyways, cool. That was the first movie theater, huh?
Yeah. Oh.
Jimmy?
Yeah, that was the first time I went to one. Yeah, I still remember it very, very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, the crowd was snaking around the building all the way back like a mile long.
You know what the first movie I ever seen in the theater was? What'd you guess?
Does it start with Debbie?
No, but it wasn't too long. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. It's the show. Can't go there. Anyway, that the first movie that I was taken to a theater to actually go see, for real, in a theater, not a drive-in, but an actual, sit down inside, like civilized people, Star Trek, the motion picture.
Oh, yes, Star Trek, with the guy with the ears.
Star Trek and Star Wars. I like it. Nice.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
That was the first movie I got taken to because I used to, as a little kid, watch the Star Trek reruns. My uncle took me.
Yeah.
His girlfriend, they were teenagers. There was a less than 10-year difference between him and me, so he took me.
Cool. Very cool.
But anyway, that's the first movie I got to see in a theater.
All right. Star Trek and Star Wars is a pretty good group of films there. Jimmy, do you have any input on Street Coors Light, or maybe even some inspiration to help Uncle help name this weird vessel that we've yet to name?
Yeah,
any thoughts on that, Jimmy?
What do you think? I have to have some kind of ideas.
Well, I'm at a disadvantage. I can't see it. What is it? What shape is this thing?
Give it a description there, Uncle.
It's a plano glass with a little tip where they pour it. It's like a tip, and it has a lip, sort of.
Yeah, so
straight out.
It was a stemless wine glass that was plastic.
It was plastic
that got melted along the top rim in such a way that the top of the rim has a little pour spout, like a perfect pitcher, perfect little spout to pour out of at the top. So that's what this thing is. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Jimmy?
Any thoughts?
The bubbler.
The bubbler?
We'll go with that.
We're going to call this thing the bubbler, Uncle?
The bubbler pitcher.
The bubbler pitcher. Okay.
We'll go with that.
The bubbler pitcher. There we go. Okay, Jimmy, thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You have named this wonderful thing that we will be using again. We're going to keep using it, right, Uncle?
And we'll use it every time we have reviews.
The bubbler.
Of the beers. Mm-hmm. So it goes with where we can put it. In the case.
We'll keep it in a safe spot. Yeah.
And put it up, maybe by your glass.
Maybe.
Yeah, put it in there with the glass.
Somewhere over here with the podcasting equipment. I'll wash it every time and put it back there.
Yeah.
Okay. The bubbler, everybody. Say hello to it. I like that name. It's got a ring to it. It's easy to say.
It's
got a nice thing to say. How we doing there on your drop glass, Uncle?
Oh, I'm doing.
You enjoying the street?
Yeah. This is pretty good.
It is.
I like talking about drop glass for a moment. I like my tour ones, but what I'm having a little bit of a problem is I can't fit. Some of them are wide. I can't fit it in.
Oh yeah.
So that's the I'm having. But I have another drop glass. It stays with the big ones in the thing because that has a personal things for measurements. I keep that out.
So you're talking about Uncle has a special display case for his drop glasses.
Yeah, display case.
You got it as a gift at Christmas.
Yeah.
It's this thing that opens up and it has all these little individual shelves for shot glass. It holds like how many shot glasses? Like 20 maybe? Maybe 20 of them?
28, 30. I miscounted the how many was in them.
It has a little door. You open it. Yeah, they're behind glass. Hangs on the wall.
But what I might ask, since my birthday's coming up, is I might need another one.
Oh, you need a second shot drop glass.
I mean, because I've already got
full,
so I might need another one.
Okay,
you can give me that if you want.
I will consider that as a gift. Maybe we need a
because because I figured, well, shoot, I got this one, and it filling it all up, and I was saying, well, shoot, if I go another trip somewhere, I gotta collect some more of those drop glasses. Oh, I am.
So we'll do that.
I'm a collector of drop glasses.
Oh, I'm realizing, Uncle, we need to address something that Creative Accents dropped into the chat. I did see that earlier. He wants to know if you realized that Iceman, Val Kilmer, recently died. Did you hear that news about Iceman from Top Gun?
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
What do you think about
that?
But
it was actually the one talking about him in the Top Gun in the movie.
Yeah.
Actually, in the movie, he actually did die. But that was in the movie.
Yeah, but in real
now
life,
in real life now, he died of, what was it? Did he die of? Does he know?
I can't remember. Was it cancer? I forget.
He couldn't talk much in the movie.
Yeah, I think
it was a bad kind of voice.
I want to say he had like throat cancer or something, and that was it. If I remember, I don't know for sure. Let me see if Creative Accents said that in the chat. But anyway, yeah. So there was that sad news. So he asked that. What else is going on in the O'Chilly chat? We've got Phase Shifter, we got Creative Accents. Chuck is there in the chat. So it's everybody's having a good time. We're having a lively show here. Not too many calls. That's okay, but we're doing a lot, Uncle. We're doing a lot on the show.
I figured we would get this done, so we got the name of that called the Bubbler Puller. So now you know we can have that with all this other stuff. And that's going to be also used on my Revolutions.
Oh, yes.
Yes, yeah. I got my Revolutions come up. I'm going to use it too. You remember that? We'll bring it all back up here again.
It's going to be a standard thing that we have on the show when we're doing our drink reviews. Got to use the bubbler now. Got to.
Now, it helps in a way that we've already had the glass, the bottle, the aluminum thing. What I can do now, when the show goes out, we have this bubbler here. Put the drink in, and I can take it, and I don't need no drinks in. I can just bring it out to the side with the aluminum can I'm talking about. But everything else.
Hey, I'm into it.
So I like that idea, using that for this.
Yeah. So we'll get to this review in a little bit, but quick, Uncle, I'm going to throw this at you because I mentioned it on my show earlier. I did a debate about this earlier in the day, but I'm going to get your take. Herbivorizing predators. Do we do it or do we not do it? Do we not herbivorize predators? What should we do on that one, Uncle? It's a big question. It's a tough one.
Think about this.
Yeah. Give it some thought. This is almost as tough as naming the bubbler.
Yeah. That's my next problem. It sounds like my boys that were watching in the sky.
Sounds like something that we would need help from them to actually do.
So I would disagree actually hurting them, than having to say, "What's your name?" Okay. If that's what you think, if just thinking saying.
Yeah, I think
that's my thinking point.
That answer makes a lot of sense to me. And we're going to go with that. If I do a continuation of the debate show I did, I'm going to bring that to the table.
Bring that to the table and say, because remember, we are watching problems that say they come through your mind. You don't talk to them. They go through the brain, and they get it through your brain, and they talk, and they go through it. That's how they operate.
They sure do.
So bring that to the table.
I will.
That answer.
I will let them know that. I will tell them that you said that and that I agree with it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really going to take things to the next level. And I like that. Yeah. Jimmy, do you have a Mountain Dew tonight?
You have a Mountain Dew?
You know I do.
Yeah, I know.
Now, do you have a bubbler or some equivalent to a bubbler that you can pour the Mountain Dew into and then pour it into your glass afterwards?
No, I wouldn't do any of that. I just crack open a can.
You just have the can opener.
Right.
I like that method too. Just straight from the can. Yeah. Something
well,
pure
just
about
because
that.
she made.
I do have the.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say I just want to point out I got the coolest beer mug ever. It's from the Tropicana Casino, and this thing must weigh like 5 pounds, and it looks like a big crazy bird with a beak.
Cool. Bird mug from the Tropicana, you say? In Vegas?
In Vegas? That's here.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's in L.A. I mean,
well, it's close. It's the next. State
I
over.
mean, the state next over.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
not
right,
far
that's
of a
right.
drive, really.
Well, it ain't there no more. I think it's gone now, ain't it?
Oh, was that one of the ones? That was the one that they demolished a couple years back, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think.
Oh.
Am I remembering right?
Yeah, I think it's been gone for a while, but
Might still be one.
well, I
in
got one of their mugs.
Oh.
Cool.
Wow.
I'm into it. You say there's a Tropicana in Jersey, Chuck?
There was. I think it's still there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Those the old casinos are kind of fun. I know I did go to Sam's Town in Vegas once, and what's the one across the street? It's like the Junction, something or other Junction. I was at Sam's Town. I actually saw a music show there. That was pretty cool. That was fun. So those different ones that aren't the newer places on the strip are cool to get to when you can. I haven't been to Vegas in years, though. I haven't really wanted to go back recently, but make it back there eventually, I'm sure.
Well, they're pretty good kind of people around that go through all this process of all these things.
They do. Yeah, there's so many processes. Uncle, we had fun in Landers at the party where we made the bubbler, right?
Man.
That was a cool party.
We could talk a little about that.
We could talk a little about it. Yeah, it was a good
I
time.
am about to talking about that party had at Landis. I'm telling you something. We're sitting there. I was sitting there with the DJs, and they were going back and forth. Now, how would you understand it take...
I got a Skype call requesting to come in. You want me to add him?
Ooh,
Okay.
we need to take this, don't
Yeah,
we?
go ahead. Go ahead and take this. I'll get back with the story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We can return if we need to.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm adding them in now, and it takes a minute for them to answer. You know how it works.
Yeah.
So, but just wanted to let you know that, give you the heads up.
Good.
And no sleeps.
Bring them on in. We need callers. We love callers.
Yeah, baby.
The lines are open, everybody. There's still time to call in before the show is over.
I'll go through it with the talker, and we will maybe go over a little more again.
Oh, is that how it's going to be?
If the pound.
Again from Canada.
Oh, look who's here.
It's the Canada boy. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, what are you up to? I should say.
Oh, I'm just eating some stir fry and rice over here. Canadian style.
That's good.
Out of a pot.
Delicious.
Okay, this is done.
It's a good dinner.
Did you hear what we got done going here?
Yeah, you're eating some of that, drinking some sidewalk beer.
Sidewalk beer. You can say it that way.
Yeah. We love it.
Yeah.
Just
I
wait
get
for
it.
the
Hey,
rating.
I
It's
got
on the
it
way.
free. What are you talking about?
It was free.
How long do you think it was sitting out in the sun there for?
Maybe a minute.
A minute or two, maybe. Yeah.
When I went to pick it up.
Could have been 2 minutes.
2 minutes,
not too
give or
bad.
take.
Yeah.
Because then I threw it, the good one, right into the refrigerator to cool it.
Right away.
Right
away.
into
our refrigerator.
That's what you do. You go, if it's not open.
You know what they call that? They call those roadkill beers.
Oh, that's what they call that?
I didn't know that.
I remember, you know what? That
Yeah, when you
reminds
find them on
me.
the side of the road.
That's okay. That's like a slang term, right, Robin?
Yeah.
Sure. If you find them on the side of the road, they're half dead. You got to cull a few.
Yeah, but as long as they're not open, they're still alive.
Now, I remember-
Not dead.
I remember somebody having a similar name for illegal narcotics that you find just laying around, like if you're at a music festival or somewhere, if you just find something laying there and you happen to be insane enough to actually take it. They had some weird term. I remember somebody saying it. I'm like, oh man, that sounds that's living on the edge there. I can't remember what that was, but that reminds me of the roadkill thing.
We used to call them pickups. I don't know what you guys called them, but we used to call them pickups when you found stuff.
Pickups?
Pickup.
Yeah, it was something like that. I feel like it was the same thing, but it was another term. But yeah, I mean, these are the things that happen when it finds you. when it finds you.
Uh-huh.
Right, Robin?
Yeah, I did. I had a bad experience with that myself back in the day.
Uh-oh.
I found some of that hashish at a music festival, and I used too much of it. And when I was driving home, I fell asleep and hit the ditch.
Oof. Goodness gracious. That's trouble. Yeah, so be careful out there, everybody.
Yeah.
Please be careful.
Right.
We do not condone.
Hey, Uncle or
this.
Chuck.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Uncle or Chuck.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Do you know about the apology line?
Apology line. You know anything about that, Chuck?
It's not ringing the bell. Help me out, Jimmy.
Apology line. No, I don't.
During the 80s and 90s, this guy he was based out of New York. There's a New York number, and you could just call him, and people would confess to things. It's called the apology line.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, that.
The lines where you would call up, and it was the craziest thing. You paid these people like 50 cents a minute to do stuff like that. And there was a ton of those in New York, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was I don't remember the apology line, but there was a confession line.
No, see, that was a ripoff. This made this guy mad because his line was always this line was always free, and he was a scientist doing something, and that guy that did the confession line was just doing it for money.
Yeah, but
it was a ripoff. They were impersonating it.
Yeah, the confession line got famous, though. I remember the guy's ads. He had ads in newspapers and everything. And it's something like, even if you're not Catholic, you can call and confess. Like, confessions, even if you're not Catholic or something like that. And that sold it. The guy made a mint off of that. The guy, was able to buy, various houses. He bought, half a neighborhood and worked the houses for that phone line. And it's in a year. Because of all the money.
God bless him.
That's ironic because the guy that ran the apology line had nothing but troubles and a short life. But what's interesting about that? But the guy that ran the real line, what's funny is all these crazy people would call in. Supposedly the Zodiac Killer would call in, and it was just crazy.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, some of them were. Yeah.
I remember there was a debate about whether this guy, the guy who owned the confession line, turned around and had to go get, I'm not kidding, by the way, had to go get his people that were answering the line because he hired a team of people to do it and ran this thing out of his garage. And the thing is, he hired people and then he had to go get them ordained as ministers in order so that the cops, because the cops wanted in on it. We've been told you about murderers confess to you. He's like, I'm not disclosing this stuff. That'll kill the business. And then he turned around and ordained all. If you worked there, you had to go get ordained as a priest or some type. That was, I'm telling you, it was a whole crazy story. And the only reason why I know this story is because that guy wound up moving to Jersey after he left New York.
Oh, boy.
And you know where he ended up? Asbury Park. I'm not kidding you, Jimmy. That's the truth of it. And that guy ran that line. You're talking about something that happened in the early 80s, right?
Well, it was real popular in the 80s, especially after this guy started the real one. And then people are like, hey, let's copy his idea, only charge people.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a big deal. Even the guy at the apology line, the cops were always like, come on, tell us who said that. And he's like, I don't know. They call in and talk on an answering machine.
That was it. And with the live operators that he paid to answer the calls, and they would interact with him, and it was nuts. People would stay on there for an hour confessing to crap. It was hilarious. It was like, so what do you, it's not, because that was in the age of the sex lines and all that stuff, where people were paying, $2 a minute, and they'll talk dirty to you and all of a sudden. And these people are growing up and they're doing all the talking.
Yeah, that is
Dude,
weird.
talking.
Yeah, you talk to nothing for as long as you want.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember one in Vancouver where it was a dating kind of line, and the men had to pay, but the women got in free. So me and my cousins would call, and we'd pretend to be women.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
yeah. That
was kind of fun.
That's funny.
That would be funny.
And I know if anybody listened to the Ocelli and the Greek stuff, you've heard this before, but one of the greatest mob scams ever in the world had to do with those kind of phone lines.
Well,
You know about-
yeah.
You know about that,
No,
Jim?
I'm not aware.
I never heard.
No, I've heard him.
I don't know if Jimmy ever heard of it. Do you know what one of the biggest money making scams like in that time period in organized crime was, having to do with those like 900 numbers and all that was?
Was it like
I know
was
what
it
you're
running
talking
numbers
about.
or something?
You're talking about those. Nah, he's talking about those Lonely Hearts scam
No.
numbers.
No, the mob ones, the good ones where you could call up and you get like a recording, and it was like a sex recording, okay? But if you stayed on the line, the recording would replay, and they charged you by the minute, right? So what they would do is they figured out a way to send in messengers into office buildings, and they would turn around and just open up somebody's phone that's at an absent desk, dial the 900 number, and walk away. Oh my! To look for a day listening to the sex line, just banging out money from a company that doesn't even look at its phone bill. And the mob owns some of those 900 numbers as legitimate business fronts. So
Interesting.
they must have made millions off of that.
Wow.
Sending a messenger into a big office building, looking for a vacant desk or a phone they could use, and then leave running.
That's a truly genius idea. I love that one. I love that. It's cool.
I'm just telling you, that's one of those. The group, one of the shows I was doing with him, and I went, yeah, this
that is funny.
it's hilarious. It's just these guys skim and scam off everything. So just anyway,
Uncle's making me yawn over here, so I'm gonna back out. But I just want to give a shout out to Danny. He sent me that loony or that $1 American in the mail.
Oh, he did?
So we're still waiting on Ed and Cooley, but
yeah,
but Jimmy's paid up. And,
about Cooley.
Jimmy's paid up, and Danny's paid up.
There you go.
Great. Thanks for the update.
About
We'll see
Cooley.
What about Cooley?
Get on him and get him passing the money
Okay,
down.
okay, I'll get a hold of him.
Hey, you just said that last week.
I will. Now, Uncle, before we get too much further, we got to review street beer.
And in fairness, I got an email from Ed earlier regarding that. So it's on its way, and that probably means it's on its way to you too.
That sounds good.
So, okay then.
Uncle, we got to review this. Who's first in reviewing this? Is it me or you?
You. Yours first. I say the last all the time.
All right. The Coors Light that Uncle, or it found Uncle in the street, I should say. As you may imagine, it's
on
not,
the side of the street, not on the street.
Maybe you should call it some Cooley.
Yeah, I think it might be called
okay.
Cooley
So
Light.
this was a beer that we found on the side of the street, not in the street.
Right.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
Okay, that distinction. Okay.
Yes.
The Coors Light that was on the side of the street, not in the street, that Uncle picked up, that we're reviewing now, I'm going to give a 5 out of 10. It's better than you might think it is, and it's just the right drink for a night like this, I would say. What do you give this, Uncle?
Same.
5 out of 10?
Yeah.
Not bad, right?
I mean,
We'll take
yeah,
it.
I'm taking that. It didn't go to the 6 mark
Was
to
it-
me because there was something like somebody said in the beginning of this, flat.
A little.
Somebody said.
Not the
I'm
greatest tasting beer ever.
Yeah.
But a good maiden voyage for the bubbler.
That bubbler here we got here. So
Get ready to see this more often.
you're going to see that more often when we have this testing.
So very exciting. So why don't we switch over to Jimmy and ask him about shout-outs? Does that sound good, Uncle? You got to...
close.
I think we're toward the end of the show. Yeah, we need to close this out soon. So.
Okay, then. Jimmy first. Shout out, I suppose.
Okay. shout out to the Amazing Space Crew, Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos' girlfriend, and Gail King. My mind is blown. You know, what can I say? They broke the frontier. The sky's no longer the limit. Truly, I'm just wowed. I really am. All right, peace.
Okay, cool. That was a great shout out, Jimmy. It was a truly inspiring moment that we all got to share on that newsworthy event. Northman, I think, already has left. So he said,
he's left?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
If you're still there, just speak up. Yeah, he's gone, right?
He is left? Oh,
okay.
No. I didn't even hear him go.
And we got the shout out from him. He gave it to Danny for the dollar bills coming in.
Oh, so he gave his money. He's clear of me.
Yes,
he's clear. Danny's clear of me. I'm just waiting on the other two.
So does anybody else have to give a shout out tonight, Uncle? What do you think?
I'll shout out to the one listener out of the United States. That was
Germany.
Out to you. Hope you come recall a couple more times. And listen to me on the Evolution. And everybody else that was listening, shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
I guess
I'll give a quick shout out to Mikey at Candid Truth, who had me on the show this week. And to Steen and Adam over at Herbivorizing Predators. Shout out to them again. Yeah. And then shout out to anybody who has watched any of Uncle's TikTaks. Uncle the Podcast on TikTak.
Oh, and another thing.
Check that out.
I wanted to one about the TikTak.
Yeah, what about it?
Everybody that can listen, hear my TikTaks. They're on my TikTak.
Exactly.
So listen to them too if you want.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you. Big shout out to whoever ends up being the next Chewbacca.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
Can't wait to see who that is.
It might be shown tomorrow.
Could be you.
Maybe come. Maybe show up. You never know.
If you show up, it will be you. It could be
It'd
you.
be the person. I don't know who the person is. I say person because you don't know who it is.
We don't.
I just say person. You have to say person.
Okay, I said it. Person.
Then because you don't say whoever it is. You say
I would
person.
never say whoever it is. I would only say person. That's all I... To be polite, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just good manners.
Well, yeah. That's what I meant.
I know.
I mean, if even meant to be manners, right?
Thank you, Jimmy. Also, shout out to you, Jimmy, for helping us name this bubbler here. You really
shout out on that for that too.
Big help there. We appreciate that, and that's gonna be. I think it could become a true Uncle the Podcast icon.
That's gonna be an icon for my revolutions.
Yes,
I mean,
very much
because I do a lot of them. Yeah, and I check, compare, and go. Oh, it's time.
That's how the revolution goes.
Because it's later there than here.
Yes.
I mean,
3 hours. That's a big difference.
Difference.
Yes.
I got on an airplane, gone to my trip when I went to the boat. I had to go to the airplane, get on, go down to San Francisco, grab another one to Miami. So I was on 2 airplanes before I got the chance to get on the boat.
Terrible.
Ay.
Well, yes. Most of
my trip, that
so
was.
Check out Instagram, Twitter X, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, at Uncle Podcast. If you can't find at Uncle Podcast, a couple of them are Uncle the Podcast. They're kind of jumbled up. Sorry about that. But either Uncle the Podcast or at Uncle Podcast on those. UncleThePodcast.com. That's the website. That's it. Also, we might do a live stream either tomorrow or Sunday. So, just watch the live stream video channels.
It might be
we don't
Sunday
even know
because we still got to do the garage sale.
We're going to be busy.
So we'll be busy actually tomorrow. Hopefully,
we can do a stream, we will. Just keep following those. Press the button on the video channels, the YouTube especially. It'll be there. So follow that and That's it then. Uncle, why don't you bring us home for the week?
It's 365 in the book. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.